What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about MicroStrategy today, MSTR. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, my friends, and let's get into it. I genuinely forgot to talk about it yesterday. I thought I made a video. I've been making videos on MicroStrategy every day for or at least during the weekdays for the past few weeks now. I just forgot, man. I made a bunch of videos yesterday. It wasn't for lack of trying, but damn, I know that we dropped 10%. I'm not one of those guys that's afraid to talk about something in the wake of a drop, right? That's not a big deal at all. It's a higher low. I'm not worried about it at all. We dropped 10% last week. We dropped 10%. BTC USD. What are you doing this week? It's up 3.8%, and we're on the brink of breaking out to new all-time highs. You guys, this is nothing to be concerned about. It's concerning if you're up here. You're at 395 in the area that I bought most recently, and you're expecting it to go up only, and you're not prepared for it to go down. But if you just look at it, you use your seeing eyeballs, you can see that you've got higher highs and you've got higher lows. You're in an uptrend. It's nothing to be concerned about, right? And then, of course, you zoom out even more, and of course you are in a very well established uptrend, near parabolic look, actually, right? Very beautiful kind of healthy trend. I'm not worried about this thing at all, man. Not worried about it at all. Look at the daily time frame, daily RSI. We are at the 50 area, a very nice common area to bounce, right? We found support here before, a little bit above it there, right at it here. We found resistance there. You know, it's an area of significance on the RSI, and we're right here now, okay? Not only that, but Bitcoin has moved up over the weekend, and I actually theorize that if not today, which is Saturday for me, tomorrow, Sunday, late in the day, Sunday, it will be, so the way Bitcoin works here, let me go on a little side tangent, okay? The timing, it's UTC. So for me, it's Saturday right now, but on this chart, you can see on the day it says Sunday, right? Everybody's aware of that. Okay, so tomorrow will be Sunday for me as well. It'll be Sunday for a lot of you if you're American, right? It'll be Sunday tomorrow at this time. But tomorrow at this time, it will be Monday on the charts. So I think that tomorrow, either at this time or later in the day on Monday, it might actually be officially Monday. I don't know how much sense that makes. Bitcoin is going to rip. I think we have one more day of consolidation, and then tomorrow, after Sunday ends, after the new week begins. I know it's kind of hard because tomorrow for us is Sunday. Does that make sense? Tomorrow's Sunday, but on the charts it will be Monday tomorrow. Not at this time. I'm going to stop talking about that so much because I don't want to confuse people. But all I'm trying to say, because I keep saying the same words over and over again. We're at 353 now. I anticipate that Bitcoin will move up higher by the time that MicroStrategy opens on Monday. It's already higher now than where MicroStrategy was whenever it closed on Friday. So I assume that we're going to get a little bit of a bounce here. Beyond all of that, we're at current areas of support right here where we found support before, resistance before. A little bit of turbulence in and out around here. Not worried about it in that respect at all. We're at the 50 on the daily RSI, and if we take a low here to a high, we're right at the 382. Perfect. Perfect. Bouncing off your 382 is a very healthy thing. It's very strong. It indicates a strong move to come, right? And I've been thinking that we would stop at this area, that we would stop up here, and maybe we do. Maybe we do. Maybe we just bypass it. Maybe we go straight up to our all-time high area and then back test it for support instead of finding resistance on it to break through it later, right? Maybe we do something like this instead of the other way. Either way, it's going to be a little bit of a Harry Potter thing, right? That's all I'm trying to say. You get what I mean, right? The little lightning strike, little lightning Harry Potter, whatever. I'm assuming being at 353 now, by the end of the week, next week, by the end of the week, we will be up 25%, 26% or more, something like that. I don't know. Something like that is what my expectation would be. If we're not here, we're only going to be higher by the end of next week, right? And I'm a bit surprised it didn't happen this week. I'm a little bit surprised that we didn't move up this week, but to be completely fair, Bitcoin didn't move up. We had all the bullish things, all the right narratives came out, and we didn't go anywhere. We're just figuring our stuff out for whatever reason, but the funds are getting put together. Tomorrow, things are going to pump, and I think that will lead to good things for MicroStrategy as well. In fact, where do I think Bitcoin's going to be? Let's try and identify that real quick by the end of this, not move, but just by the end of this week here. At its current price, I could see it moving up 11% by the end of next week. I mean, it could move up more. It could be worth 16% more by the end of next week. Let's just say 11% though is a good kind of standard. MicroStrategy would likely move up more if Bitcoin moved up like that. I know Bitcoin's moved up like 1 or 2% in a day, and then MicroStrategy moves up like 0.5%. It moves up less. But when Bitcoin's in full stride, MicroStrategy runs at a faster rate. So if Bitcoin's moving up 11% over a week, I could see MicroStrategy doing 25%. Maybe not closing there, but just hitting that price. I could see that. Maybe if not, then we would have to see Bitcoin at higher prices, or if not, then that would imply that we would stop potentially somewhere. If not at 444, maybe we stop at about 420. But something above, I think something around 20% or more growth for MicroStrategy is what we could expect. Not on the opening day of the week, just by the end of next week. And that's just assuming that Bitcoin grows around $120,000, just below there. If we see anything bigger than that by the end of the week, well, then MicroStrategy likely doesn't even stop at this area of resistance, and we're gonna do that first thing that I was talking about, where we break through it first and then find support instead of finding resistance on it and then breaking through. But time will tell on that kind of perspective. Let's look at the shorter time frames, 1 hour time frame here. We're in the oversold zone right now, a little bit oversold. What about the 15-minute? What do we got? Pretty oversold, man. Very, very oversold. That's a lot of volume there on that last 15 minutes. Isn't that crazy? The most volume you've seen since all the way back here. But the thing is, whenever you had this volume back here, look at what you did. You moved up. Here you didn't go anywhere, right? I think that's buying is what that is, right? Whenever you see a lot of volume, don't think of it like this. Don't think of green meaning, oh, it's buying. Don't think of red as selling. Just think of volume as this thing. It's just volume. Right? There doesn't need to be a color to it, okay? It's just a level. And whenever you see that you're at this price, at the lowest price here, and you're getting your highest levels of volume, what does that tell you? That tells you that there's the most amount of interactions, transactions happening down here, right? Things are being exchanged. If you're getting a lot of that at the low, it's a good thing. It's normally a good thing, actually. As long as it's not like a lot of volume that's sending you down here. It's a lot of volume that you're acquiring at this, and once that volume comes in, it doesn't send you lower. That's the good thing, right? There's ways where a lot of volume can suggest that you do go lower, right? If it's like volume after volume. I hope you can see the difference between like what's going on here in reference to this versus what's going on here in reference to this volume. Does that make sense? Anyways, I'm not going to get hung up on this too much. You're pretty oversold on the 15-minute. It would suggest a bounce here. That looks like a bull trap to me, or a bear trap to me. I think you're going to move up. On Monday, we're going to see a very quick move, like $20-$30 up. It's going to be a nice pop for sure. Something that's going to be, if not a 10% pop, something that's around 10% or more. That'd be my thoughts. Looking at the 1 hour, right at the oversold zone, an area that you could find support. You're also at that 382, right, from the low to the high. Low here, high there. Right at that 382, it's perfect. 3 hour time frame, 3 hour RSI. You've got a relative low here in your RSI, lower than these lows over here, right? It's a lower low. But on your price, you have higher lows, and you're finding support at your 382, previous areas of support back here, and resistance on the price. I think you've got all the right things in the right places, man. I do think you're going to move up. So now to the end of the video, the end of this rendition, right? The kind of classic finish that we do. We look at the last cycle high that we had to the last cycle low, or the bear cycle low that we had. And you can see that we're consolidating now between the 1618 and the 1414. The only next target area, right? It's this line up here. It's the next target. Can we stop in between? It can happen. These are not prophecies. They're not requirements. They're just lines on a chart. But likely, and especially with the significance, I would say, that we've shown on the 1618, on the 1414 for support, okay? We tipped, double tapped the 886. I would say we're showing significance on this fib, okay? My thoughts would be, if we don't stop here, the only reason for that would be because we went through it and we went higher. And where is here? That's at about $994. It's right at about $1,000. So when we get this ball rolling, when the party starts, whenever we get prices back above basically $450, we can anticipate in a very short amount of time prices at $1,000. And I do believe that we will begin this move, if not this week, if not this coming week right here. If we don't begin this move now, we will be in full force in February. But I do suspect it's going to begin. I think it's going to begin this week. It might have already began technically with this candle. I don't know. It's going to be more obvious by the end of this coming week, I think, going into February. And then I genuinely do believe that it could be March. Here's where I'm going to make the time frame make sense a little bit, out of March being when we see this high, okay? Beginning of March, probably the beginning of March, but it really could be March, okay? We're going to make sense out of that here, okay? And I can already hear the gripers out there, the whiners out there. You guys, I said this in my Bitcoin video that I just made, right? If I'm making the same price prediction here that I made back here, what do you want from me, right? It's we're 5 weeks later. Of course, it's going to get pushed back. If I back here, okay, was calling for this move, and now I'm calling for that same move, it doesn't go backwards in time. It goes, you know what I mean? So naturally, as things move sideways and are stagnant, if you're let's just say if you have a logical frame of thinking and not an emotionally based frame of thinking, you will be open to, and you should be open to, moving your price targets in a time perspective back. It's obvious, right? It's obvious. And I like to use this. If I made the prediction that we would go here back then, wouldn't it make sense that the prediction for these targets might be at a later date now if we haven't started that move up? I'm just saying. So anybody whining about that or getting upset, that I got a couple nasty comments in regards to that, and there seemed to be some positive feedback to those comments. So anybody who thinks like that, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm just the messenger, right? It's not my fault this thing's being held back. It's going to go there. And all the people who are talking shit right now about the price not being there now and about the targets moving, you're not going to be there whenever the price is up here, right? You're here now. I don't know, man. Some people do talk smack while we're in the midst of a pump, and I think that's the best stuff, because it's like, why are you're talking smack and we're making money? I don't get it. But let's get away from this, okay? What I'm trying to say here, what was I trying to say in regards to $1,000? We could be at higher prices. Oh, right, March. So March. The reason why I think it could be March is if we look at the weekly time frame here on Bitcoin, and we kind of measure these moves, right? This move here, it probably started on this week. I would argue that it topped off here. That was about 4 weeks long, right? This move here from a low, it topped off. That took about 5 weeks, okay? In the beginning. And then this move, I would say you really got it started here. This move, it took about 7 weeks, okay? This move here from a low, you probably got it started right off that low. That was another 7 weeks. You guys see where I'm going with this? This move probably started here, maybe at that low right there. That one was 10 weeks to the top, but probably like 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that, to the relative kind of finish of the move where it lost its luster, right? So all I'm trying to say by that is, if Bitcoin takes that long to move, and we haven't really broken out yet, maybe this move started here. If we project out and we go to 6 weeks, 6 weeks puts us on the 24th of February. So Bitcoin, when it tops off, it might be, if it's the 24th of February, we have 7 days left. That could be the beginning of March that it tops off, right? That week starts on the 24th. It ends in March. If it's 7 weeks, that would be the first week of March again, right? The first 10 days of March right there. If it were to be 7 weeks. And if it were 8 weeks, if it were to happen to be longer, it could be sometime deeper. All I'm trying to say is the time frame has changed, but not by much. I think it's just been more refined after looking at literally every single move up that we've had through this bull cycle, okay? It would make sense that if Bitcoin takes anywhere from 5 to 7 weeks to make a move, MicroStrategy too would take 5 to 7 weeks to make a move. And if we apply that to the current frame, the current move that we have now, the expectation would be still at the end of February. If not the end of February, it's not all over, right? If we're not here by the end of February, we'll likely be here with our targets on those prices in very early March, okay? So if you're upset that it gets pushed back a week or 10 days, maybe you shouldn't invest, because that's I don't know, man. A 10-day pushback, I don't know. You shouldn't be getting worked up over stuff like that, right? The money's still going to be there. It's still going to go up to $1,000. I can't promise anything. Nothing's a guarantee, but again, it's going to happen, right? I don't know. Everybody wants to talk smack whenever we're doing nothing, whenever we're being boring. But whenever we were back here, and for months, I was saying the same thing over and over again, that MicroStrategy was going to prices above $300, right? For months, I had the same thing going on that I got now. People were talking smack, but now it's not the same people talking smack up here. It's a whole different crew. Or if it is the same person or same people, maybe they just made fake accounts. I don't know. But I'm spending too much time talking about this, so I'm gonna end the video. Hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Be prepared. We're on our way. The rocket is loaded. We're about to launch. All good things in time. Probably starts this week. Bye bye.